Yo, what's going on? Manuel here. Today I'm going to be breaking down my tune Dance Get Sweet for the Love Shack Sound Spread and Tell Challenge. Big up Charlie for nominating me. Big up Jando and Gore for doing one already. We smashed it. Yeah, this released back in October on Substance. Classic folk horn tune, really. Nothing else I can say. Let's start with the drums. So, let's solo the bass for you here so you can hear what's going on. Yeah, it's very standard D&B pattern. Kick snares are in the standard places you'd expect. But then I got lots of other little stuff just to kind of fill it out. Add a bit of variation here and there. So I've got like lots of open hats here and there, shuffles. What's my cowbell? I've got a cowbell. Like rides as well, reverse crashes. Got like amens here as little fills. What I do with my drum sounds is I process them all individually. So like you can see here on the snare I've done like EQ, reverb, a bit of compression as well. Same on the kick. It's all fairly simple to be fair, as you can see as I scroll through them. But then on the drum bus, what I've done is I put a bit more compression. This is probably going to be an exciter. Yes, an exciter. So this is a Ozone like multi-band exciter, which is really cool. I really like it. It helps bring out the tops a lot, makes those hats sparkle, etc. And then I've got a low pass actually, which is the Logic native one, which I've automated as you can see here. Kind of brings the drums in a subtle way. I like filtering my drum buses. There's something about it. It sounds quite nice. What else have we got? I'll show you the orchestral drums next actually. So these are like it's a pretty weird thing for me to do. I don't think I've done these before, but you can see they're kind of like orchestral timpani sound, sounding sounds. Why not? It's a bit more sparse in like the very intro. And when layered with the main drums, makes quite a cool little effect. So you can see that's already sounded pretty full before I've even talked about any of the pads, which is really nice. I've got like a little bell here, like a little church bell. Well, it reminds me of a church bell. Cool. Thank you. Right, let's talk about the pads. This first pad here, this main pad, is going to be playing a little melody. And this tune doesn't really have any major chord progressions. It's all kind of based around the root note, just to make it sound kind of more simple, more grounded, especially when it hits a drop as well, because that's just all basically one note, with a little bit of pitch bends here and there. So I think it's very important to establish like the key pretty solidly first of all. You can see the rest of the pads are just pretty much just playing one note. We've got the brass, which mirrors that first pad. Nice. Again, the processing on all these pads and the brass is going to be fairly simple. EQ, compression, EQ, reverb, compression, etc. Really simple. And actually all of these pads, the brass and the orchestral drums I was talking about, they're all made with this Expand 2, which is a plugin from Air. It's like a sample-based instrument. So if I open the menu here, you can see there is so many pads, percussive sounds, leads, pianos, literally anything you can think of. Some of the sounds are pretty hit and miss, but I don't know, there's some that I found that are quite go-to for me. But yeah, that goes on sale like every Black Friday. They do obviously like the plug-in sales. This one's always on sale for £1, so kind of that Expand 2 by Air Studios would definitely recommend. What else we got in the intro? We've got a little like a bait reggae drum roll. Nice, again just adds a little bit more texture, something else going on. And then coming up here to the drop, I've got a couple new things. I've got an uplifter, which is just going to be just like white noise going up. Nice. I've got a riser as well. Again, minimal processing, bit of EQ, bit of verb. Got more ragga sounds. Who doesn't love that sound? Everyone loves that sound. I fucking love that sound. Then I suppose we should talk about the VOP. So of course, Mr. Dave Rodigan. I took this from just a random sound clash he did. And what's interesting actually, as I was listening back to it, I'd almost forgot, but the actual sample itself is really, really messy. Like you can hear loads of background noise. When he says his S's, it's like, almost sounds like it's clipping. It's really harsh, but I play it on its own.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the dance gets sweet for me.
Almost sounds a bit crushed or so, it sounds horrible. But amongst everything else, amongst the pads, the normal drums, the orchestral drums, etc., it sounds calm, to be honest, if I play it now. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the dance gets sweet for me.
You can hear those artifacts are kind of hidden under everything else, which is nice. Right, let's move on to the drop. So the drums in the drop are pretty much the same. I've made them a tiny bit simpler by taking out that second hi-hat, which is on the offbeat. I also take away the shuffle for like the initial phrase. Yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty much the same as the intro. Again, got more little ragga effects here. We've all heard that 1,000 times, but it's those little noises every now and then that are really gonna make it sound different and keep it interesting. It's very easy to put the same drum loop for your whole track and it sounds very, very boring, so it's nice to switch up a little bit. Right, let's talk about the basses. All my subs here that I've got under this sub bus, as you can hear, they're all really, really basic. They're all made with ES2, which is Logic's like native subtractive synth. Dead simple. It's literally 3 oscillators, no real like wavetables or anything like that. No FM, nothing fancy. So it's literally just a sine wave, bit of distortion on there to help bring out the harmonics. Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure that's the same on all of them. So I've EQ'd them individually. See, I roll off like the lows around 30 hertz because we don't need them, and cut off all the side information below 200. I mean, there shouldn't be any side information there anyway if you've got your synth set up correctly and if it's in mono, etc, etc. Can't help being extra safe. Yeah, I've just got a bit more EQ on the bass. I've got a sidechain compressor to the kick. Let's have a look at the actual bass sounds now, like the mid-high information. So, as with the subs, most of these sounds were made just with like Logic's inbuilt synth. So the first sound we hear, this weird like warpy wub, it's actually made with the EFM1, which is Logic's like basic FM synth. And when I say basic, it is pretty damn basic. You can't do a whole amount with it. Can't do a whole lot with it. But I've managed to make some cool sounds with it. I really like messing with the stereo detune as well. That does bits for it because it just brings like a weird element into it. You can hear actually, play it. If I turn the detune off, you can hear it kind of adds a weird modulation, makes it a bit more stereo, which, I don't know, I think sounds really cool. And then you have the foghorn sound, the main sound, which was, I think one of 2 sounds made in massive. Actually, if I take all the processing off and just show you what the bare massive patch sounds like, it sounds shocking basically. However, I added a camel crusher, bit of EQ, cut off below 200 hertz. Isotope Trash, which is another plugin I swear by. It's like multi-band, distortion, saturation, whatever you want really. The patch itself, really, really basic. The main tone itself is coming from the resonant frequency of the notch filter, which I like to do a lot. You get some really cool effects with it if you experiment with different wavetables, etc, etc. And then I've got like the modulation in it. The is just literally a performer on the output, on like the volume output. Next up we have this kind of noisy, Reese sound. Now, I bounced this down, so I can't really tell what it was made on, but I'm 90% sure it was the ES2 again. Really, really simple sound, but again, just like the massive sound, lots and lots of processing to make it sound how I want, to make it sound more harsh. I think this is sound 2 of 2 that I made in massive as well. The modulation on that is a lot more straight, just do 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 do. So maybe I did that with a tremolo, maybe I did that in massive itself. I can't actually remember because I've bounced it. Yeah, I think that's all the main bass sounds for the drop. And then we get onto this this kind of B section of the drop / transition back into like the build up. The subs are there, that first sound is there, but like the foghorns have gone and they've kind of been replaced by the pads, which is nice again because it brings it back up to the build up rather than going straight back into what it was before the drop. Again, bit noise down. Got that side chain to the kick as well, nice. But yeah, man, I think that's it. It's such a simple track, man, but I really like how it came out and it's been getting some solid support. So I hope that you've managed to learn something from this or take something away. Yeah, like I said, once again, big up Charlie for the nomination. I hope you're all staying safe. Much love.